Oh, that's really good. Hello, people of the internet. We may not have met before. If we haven't been introduced before, hello, my name's Adam. You may also know me as AJ, AJV1, or that guy whose video you've just stumbled on, in which case, hello. If you already know me, then you'll know I've been planning this for a little while. I have been on YouTube for the best part of 10 years, maybe more. And one thing I've kind of never done to any great degree is vlogging. And one thing I've always wanted to do, in some capacity, is vlogging. Earlier this year, I decided I would get myself a nice, simple camera and vlogging setup and just start doing it. I have some other bits filmed, some other types of videos that'll be coming soon, hopefully. But I've been waiting for that first video to kind of introduce myself to the channel and introduce yourself to the world. Now they always say like, oh, upload your first vlog so the world can see it. Except because of YouTube algorithms, probably only your mum and 3 other people who are looking for some PewDiePie video will actually watch it. This is going to be the first video on the channel. So hello, welcome along, make yourselves at home. I've already made some tea. So I was trying to think of a way to start off and I thought, hang on a minute. Seeing as I have been on YouTube the best part of 10 years, why don't I just go through and discuss my sort of journey through YouTube all the way up to here? So cast your minds back to the year 2008. Probably a much simpler year for us because, you know, it wasn't current darkest timeline. And I had my very first channel on YouTube. It no longer exists. It was called Night Fighter. That's spelt with an A and a H rather than an ER, because I would have been, what, 16 at the time, and I thought that was cool and edgy and stuff. It kind of didn't really go anywhere. It wasn't a serious channel. But back in 2008, YouTube was literally, it was like what, I don't know, like Vimeo is now, like the sort of site where you just put videos up for projects or things like that. You just put them there for the sake of it. You don't really put stuff up to make content and earn money and blah 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 and it's your job. It's just a place to dump stuff that you've made. It's like a creativity dump, or it's just a place for you to post holiday pics or a funny video of your cat falling off the sofa. That's kind of what I did. Well, I didn't post photos of a cat falling off a sofa. I actually posted videos of mostly kind of really basic level GTA, I don't know, they were almost like music videos of me driving cars around modded versions of the GTA games, and I also uploaded a random guitar cover of me playing an Offspring song. And apparently I got it wrong, so whatever. I had like one comment and it was like, dude, you fucked up. I'm like, well, welcome to YouTube then. Now, given the fact that that channel doesn't exist, I don't know when I can't go back and find out when I first started it, but I can go back and find out when I started my biggest channel, and probably the one I'm most known for. If any of you know me already, you probably know me for this one, Team Bomber Sports. The channel that would become Team Bomber Sports was started on the 10th of February 2009, and the first video on it was this. Yep, a fairly low quality stop motion animation of 2 collectible action figurines shooting at each other. That was genuinely my first video on Team Bomber Sports. Then the second one was an actual NASCAR stop motion animation. It was this one. Then we had a random video where I tried to do like a bass test on my parents' old sound system that they'd given to me. Because my good friend at the time, Sam Bernard, aka Bearvids, he has his own channel, was doing, and still does to this day, videos of subwoofers and speakers go all the bass. So I was like, I'm going to make my speakers go. And then after that, I settled into the nascent little NASCAR community that was going on YouTube. Just fellow people who were collecting NASCAR diecast. Neat tea. Let me say that one again. People who were just collecting diecasts, people who were maybe talking about the races, although a lot of that came later, that kind of podcast scene came later. Early on, it was just mostly kids, really. Kids and teenagers finding excuses to play with toy cars, doing diecast reviews where we, you know, almost like early unboxing videos where we'd be like, oh, I've got a parcel from Man Man, I wonder what's in it. More NASCAR toy cars. I bet you're surprised about that. So I was kind of like Ashens with toy cars, except not as funny. Alongside all of that, there was a real community of people doing stop motion animation. I had never really had any background in it, and yet I thought, well, hang on, that looks fun. Most of them were shorts, and then I uploaded my first full film on Christmas Eve, 2009. Here's some clips from it.
And Tony Stewart gets all loose, and we've got trouble going in, and Carl Busch just dumped Jeff Gordon, and with half a lap to go, here comes Jeff Burton, but Mark Martin slips on the inside, and it looks like Mark Martin will take the win.
Also, fun story, the video's in 2 parts, because YouTube used to have a thing called a 10-minute upload limit. Or it might have been 15, I can't remember. Just to think, imagine if YouTube had never evolved like that. 10-hour memes would never have been a thing. And then for the next few years, kind of did most of the stuff I always did. Diecast reviews, more stop motion films. The stop motion films are by far and away the most popular, the biggest videos I've ever done on YouTube. Like, there are a few of them that are hitting over like 100,000, maybe even 200,000 views by now, which is insane. And they were a fair bit of hard work, I'll be honest, for pushing toy cars around. And I remember in 2013, I was about to sort of quit it altogether. I was just about to move away to university that year. By that summer, I was like, do you know what? I kind of got exhausted of it. I'll just finish this last stop motion and then move away to uni and forget about it. That stop motion is the one that ended up doing the most hits I've ever had on any video I've ever uploaded on any channel on YouTube ever. And I ended up continuing all through 2014 and then 2015. And at the end of 2014, when I moved back from university, I started a second channel called Bomber Sports Gaming. Would then go on to be called Bomber Sports Plays. There was also Real Bomber Sports, which was my like vlogging, real life sort of channel. As you can tell by the fact I said at the start of the video that I haven't really done much vlogging in my time on YouTube. Didn't really have many uploads on it. Top tip that I've just learned, if you are wanting to be a vlogger yourself, don't try and do vlogging filming when you're expecting a delivery. Especially when it's all your groceries for the week. Has my tea gone cold? No, nowhere near close. Good Sonic mug. Good Sonic mug. Actually, before we continue any further with the story of Team Bomber Sports, let's go back a little bit, because around 2009-2010 time, I actually started another channel, which was completely different to Team Bomber Sports. It was my first train channel, Tangmere Tornado. I was going out and filming mostly steam trains on rail tours and things like that. That lasted for a few years and then kind of went away again as my interest in trains waned. It's come back in the last few years again. It's just one of those things. It's kind of like my like of pro wrestling. I don't know if you've noticed, it's a nice Seth Rollins shirt I'm wearing there. I'm a massive fan of pro wrestling now, but for many, many years I wasn't. I remember getting into it when I was around 9, 10, and around my cousins had all the figures and everything, and the little ring and stuff, and you play over there and pretend to do like 5-star frog splashes on each other and play the SmackDown video games on PlayStation and PlayStation 2. And then I went off it completely, and then a few years back I randomly found wrestling again, and then now I'm go to loads of indie shows, so which is quite cool. But trains have kind of been the same thing. They've been a hobby that have kind of come and gone for me, and now I'll be doing train videos again, probably on this channel, which will be nice. Anyway, back to Team Bomber Sports. Something interesting started happening in 2015 and 2016. I was actually earning money off Team Bomber Sports by this point. This was in the boom of YouTube being this big thing and people started making it their living almost. When I graduated from university, I didn't really know, no one knows what they're doing when they finish university. Anyone who does, he's a complete liar. I thought, you know what? One thing I can control is Team Bomber Sports. I can make that a thing and maybe make a living off of it. So I just plowed all of my time into Team Bomber Sports. 2015, I just kept grinding out videos, tried to make more stop motion films. The only problem is, you may have guessed, stop motion animation is very time consuming, very laborious, and I was doing all of this on my own in this bedroom surrounded by some huge softbox lights, so that even in the depths of winter, I'd be in here filming for 8 hours a day, sweating. I spent most of those 2 years kind of kidding myself that I could do it full time. I don't know if that's a fair word, but I kept promising that I'd be able to do all these stop motions, and I'd be able to do like weekly stop motion shorts, and I'd be able to do this, and I'd be able to do that. But I probably should have realized that stop motions just aren't a thing. And YouTube has only got more and more focused on, I mean, even back then, they were starting to move more in a direction of rewarding like weekly stuff and daily content and things like that. And as an animator of possibly the most time-consuming form of animation there is, I was using Adobe Premiere Pro and just a regular, not even a DSLR for the first few. I was just using a point-and-shoot camera, and then I got a DSLR later on. But even then, like a budget DSLR and some softboxes and sets I made by myself. I made those racetracks and everything all by myself. I bolted them together, made the ovals and things like that. And I was trying to do all of that regularly enough to be successful on YouTube, whilst also trying to find content that I also enjoyed doing that wasn't that could still fill the gaps and mean that Team Motorsports was a regular thing. And I didn't. It was too much. I couldn't do either of them, and I spent way too long being like, no, I'm still going to make stop motion. I'm still going to make stop motion. I'm still going to make this. It eventually all reached a head at the end of 2016, where you had me thinking I had to always be doing motorsport-related stuff on Team Motorsports and desperately trying to find something to do to fill the space, playing nothing but racing games on Motorsports Plays, and they were starting to take off, actually. My career mode series on NASCAR Heat Evolution on that channel was doing serious numbers. That was like the breakout one. That was like on the growth chart, the subscriber chart, it was like do trickling along, and then suddenly started going and it really started to take off. So things were starting to happen on Motorsports Plays. I was thinking maybe I could transition into gaming content all along. And my actual job by that point was freelance motorsport broadcasting and journalism. And I was flying around Europe doing commentaries, and all of these had their good points on their own, but all of them started to take a toll. I think there's a deep irony in the fact that at the end of 2015, I told my good friend Andre Harrison, Harrison 101 HD, to effectively quit his motorsport gaming YouTube channel and go full on with his podcast, Motorsport 101. And then a year later, I basically did the same thing. But I didn't communicate it very well at all. I basically just stopped uploading one day because I just had enough. I had outgrown... I had the content I was doing week to week that wasn't stop motions, wasn't really doing it for me. I was sick and tired of only playing racing games on Motorsports Plays, and I'd even lost all appetite to do stop motions. I literally couldn't face doing stop motions anymore. I just couldn't. I remember my dad came in one day and he saw the tracks laid up on the wall, and he looked at them and he went, deep down, are you ever going to do stop motions again? And I just went, no. And I spent almost a year, maybe more, kidding myself that I would. There was just enough of me to go, no, I can make it, I can do it. And yet I was doing stuff that I didn't even enjoy to get there and not actually seeing enough of a result to... It just kind of broke me in the end. The only thing I regret is how I communicated it. I really sort of ran away and just stopped uploading to the point that on my next YouTube channel, which we'll get to in a minute, for months and months, I had people being like, aren't you Motorsports Plays? Why are you not doing Motorsports Play? What's the Team Motorsports? What's going on with that? And I was like, shut up. When I should have just said on the regular Team Motorsports, look, this is what's happening. We're going away now. I haven't got the heart to do videos anymore. It's been a great run, but I'm doing something else. So I guess I finally said it now. So at the end of 2016, I was effectively stepping away from my main YouTube channels that were all I'd ever known for the best part of 6, 7, maybe even 8 years. I thought, you know what? I still want to do gaming content. I don't like the word content. I just wanted to do gaming videos because I like doing those, but I also wanted to play more than just racing games. I mean, look, that's all my PS1 games, there's all my PS2 games, there's a whole shelf of PS3 and 4 games and Mega Drive and PC and all this stuff. There's all my consoles down here. So I was like, I want to make more than just racing games on YouTube. Enter my friend Nave Fitzpatrick, who had his own YouTube channel for a while, and he had sort of run into the same problem as me. He wasn't really had the appetite to upload over there. He didn't have the time or anything to do it. So I pitched the idea to him, well, hang on a minute, we're both struggling to upload, to have the time to upload regularly on a channel by ourselves. Why don't we collab? Why don't we have a collab channel? And so December 2016, Armbar Arcade was born. And since then, we've uploaded weekly gaming videos, and recently we've started streaming a lot more on Twitch, and that's been really fun. Twitch nowadays kind of has the vibe of old school YouTube around the early 2010s, where everyone was flourishing and it really felt like you could start a channel and really make something and you could see that growth happening, whereas modern YouTube, you're just uploading every week and you're just looking at it like, it's just a flat line. Modern YouTube is kind of like YouTube when it first started. Just upload stuff for the sake of it. Just make stuff and put it up there with no expectation of what it's going to do. Be proud of it, obviously, but just do it for that sake rather than expecting it to go anywhere, because it probably won't do as well as you think it will, unfortunately. And like I say, I've been there through this entire time. And that's kind of why I wanted to do this video, because I've been on YouTube for a surprisingly long time. I've never been hugely successful on YouTube. Team Motorsports got to about 4,000 subscribers in the end, which is amazing. I'm still happy with that. So I've been here a while. I've been on this channel or in this site a while, and this is my latest YouTube endeavor. How long it's going to last? Hopefully quite a while. The main aim of this channel is just to do stuff. The whole point of this channel is just for me to make stuff that I've wanted to do for a while. I'd rather just do stuff. I'd rather just make stuff and put it out there, rather than find a billion excuses not to. Anxiety sucks for that. We'll deal with that in a future video. But for now, if you haven't watched this video, thank you so much. Genuinely, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. It's been very cool. Please subscribe if you fancy it. We'll be putting videos, hopefully one a week, up from here on out. What kind of videos there'll be will be more of this. There'll be travel vlogs of a kind, mostly involving trains. But seriously, thank you guys so much. I've been AJ, and I'm a vlogger now. See you next time.